Oh yes, this is the summary video on self-love. And notice the props. I'm just going to put it down so I don't smash myself in the head. Alright, so I hope that you're all feeling great, that you're maybe having some reflections and some processing going on from the conversations, and that is doing you good, I hope. So the key takeaways or the key things we discussed, starting with the values exercise. And like Sahar said, for her it has really become a tool for decision making. Easy decision making, at the very least easier than it was before, quicker, knowing that it's the right thing for you, for your business, for your family, whatever it is. And in recruitment, it's like a real tool for recruiting the right kind of person. And just remember when you were in the process of recruiting the French guy, if you have your values and you just check in, is it aligned with these things? Will this person match them? Yes? Okay, then go ahead. No. Out, you're out. And Sahar concluded with clarity, knowing yourself and be able to own it. Not just, I have a feeling of who I am or what I stand for, but I know it. I am proud of it and I own it. So I loved what came from it. Tatiana, courage, faith, freedom, respect, truth. So aligned and so representative of who you are. Beautiful. Anders, efficiency, possibly speed. Fun, freedom, learning, and responsibility. Again, so perfectly describing you and your qualities. Sahar, excellence, significance, growth, respect, and leadership. And I'm so happy to have been with you as a part of your process in locating these words and living them out and finding the right ones and representing them and taking it to the next level. Just beautiful, beautiful process. And going through my own 5 values today, pushing myself to allow to have to change one or to upgrade or to make it even clearer, just to show that just because you set your 5 does not necessarily mean that that's it and I'm not going to change. So mine, as of today, are authenticity, integrity, courage, family, and humor. So like Sahar said, for me, from when I could define them, the difference from before feeling lost, not fitting in, just awkward, and to being proud of who I am, my values, and what I stand for. All right, and then we dove straight into self-love. How much energy do you consume to maintain a hurting relationship, pain, something someone has done you in the past, a broken memory or a broken experience that creates a painful memory? How much energy are you putting into that or pouring out of yourself to keep it? Because that's what you're doing. You're ultimately holding on to it for no other reason than wanting for that person to come around and say, oh, I'm sorry for all the wrong I did you, or change and start treating you right. None of them are going to happen. Sometimes on the deathbed, you hear about people who said, oh, I'm sorry for all the wrong I did. But waiting a whole life for that, is it worth it? No. Is it worth it? I got my gangbang ticket in the verse, said Missy Elliott. Sorry about that. Yeah, and our memories, we allow them to take so much space that it's not really a matter of giving energy to it, or maintaining. It's like you cut yourself and the blood just bloop, bloop, bloop. So the only way to fix that, what is that? It's to let go and to be okay with not being right. To come to the point where you say, okay, I actually just want to have peace. I want to move on and grow, learn something. So I'm going to be a very brave human and detach myself from the need and the desire to be right. It's disgusting, but it's the only thing that will help you move away from the pain of the hurting, the disappointment, that will be stopping you from self-love, from receiving love, from giving, from loving yourself. It is impossible. You can't hold on to resentment and still expect to grow. It's an impossible equation. The big question, what do you need to forgive yourself for? And I think it's good to bring that question back sort of regularly, because why? Because we're so damn hard on ourselves. When you're someone who is capable, highly intelligent, driven, and you like work on yourself, it's never going to happen that you're not the type of person who is a little bit hard on yourself. So what do you need to forgive yourself for? Anders shared, like when you think back of the teenage years, not being so necessarily proud or satisfied with some of the things that went on, being tough on that younger version of you. So remember, at any given time in life, depending on your current circumstances, your current relationships, the people who are influencing you or putting pressure on you, with your current mindset, you will be doing your very best. Always. And sometimes that is awesome. Like that's the best one in the universe. Kind of good. And sometimes when we're at a much different place, it's not going to be so impressive. That does not mean it is a good thing to keep on being hard on yourself. You have to sort of cut yourself some slack. Just say that was my best then. If it was now, I would have done it so differently. Holy shit, I would have done it so differently. Thank you. Sahar, the whole thing with the relationship to your mother as a girl, feeling that you have to protect her, and then stepping into almost a mothering role, and then it becomes a pattern. I mean, we can't help it. We're designed to operate in this way, and then your role was to protect her. That's what you felt, so that's what you've done. And is it good? Like, is it helping? Is it building a great relationship? Maybe not. And I mean, whether it was you who felt it, or there was no other way, or you felt the pressure to do it, you did as best as you could. That's what you thought was the best thing, and maybe it wasn't. So no matter who is responsible for it, you still have to move forward and be able to forgive yourself for what it led to, or what you have caused with it or created. Like you said, I mean, thanks to that there's this, and because of that there's that. You just have to own both sides, the good and the bad. No situation ever brings about only bad. Sometimes we don't see the good in the moment, but when you can linger with it and try to see it from another perspective and be very honest, then there's going to be good in it. Tatiana, apart from feeling that you really wanted to support the younger Anders, also feeling that, as a young adult and teen, bending over backwards to please others, which now you're not, I mean, it's not okay. You shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have thought that you had to do that to be accepted, but you did. So just for forgiveness, forgiving yourself for, at that point, being fragile or broken or needy, or needing love and acceptance. That's human. Maybe it wasn't good for you, but you did as best as you could. So forgiveness, forgiveness, forgiveness. I shared the exercise. I love you. I forgive you for. I support you fully in. Saying that, like, staring into the mirror is, especially maybe the beginning. I love you. It's like, yeah. But it's a good thing, and it leads to change because it's so non-typical. I mean, it's not something you do. When and how do you practice self-love? Anders went political on us with silence and then saying, that was a tough question. But then ultimately concluding that even if it's not outspoken, oh, now I'm going to pour some love over myself. Things like going on a trip, taking time, allowing yourself to have 1 week of holiday just for you. I mean, woo. But from now on, we put a heart in the calendar so that we know that now I'm loving on myself. I'm supporting myself. I am cheering on myself and pouring happiness into me because I love me. Yeah? Sahar, how do you practice self-love? Taking time for self-growth. Investing time, money, energy, really working in you, supporting you. That's, yes. Tatiana, same thing. I mean, you have really worked. You have really worked, girl. To the point, going from like maybe brokenness, touching on bitterness, to a point today where you are feeling complete. You complete me. At peace with yourself. That's a hell of a lot of work you've put in there. And you can only do that if you love yourself. If you're, as a first step, accept yourself, which I think is not enough, but moving forward, loving, continuing to strive to be your best, and at some point you're going to grow into that role and own it. Self-love. How good are you at receiving love? In conclusion, every single adult, I mean, kids can be good at it, because like if you pour cuddles and kisses and you tell them, oh my God, I love you, they love it. They do. And then comes that point, 6, 7 years, when we are already programmed and conditioned by society, and there we start reflecting, comparing, judging, and then, oops, there it goes. That capacity to receive love sort of just evaporates into thin air. So, so how you shared that, and this is deep. I'm gonna read your words. Being loved is potential pain. You said that it's like you don't want to be loved because then you have to love back. And if you love back, if you give your love away, then you risk getting hurt, and you don't want that. So you would rather keep a barrier up. I mean, if you can't see that for what it is, you're going to have distance. It's going to distance yourself. You're not going to experience the greatest love. So, good on you for having worked through it and be with your husband in a relationship where you feel trust and commitment and real supportive love. That is great. What is that? Oh yeah. Yes. So, the greatest takeaway from today's session. Anders, it was really uncomfortable with a hug, but you really liked it, but at the same time, very uncomfortable. And the whole thing with, if you are prepared, then, yeah, then it's nice to hug. And, I mean, you I can't share the physical feeling because only I got that hug, but you did hug like a real hug that was not, oop, there you go, it's done. So, good work. And the question, can I receive love? Tatiana, sharing that you wanted to just go and hug Anders when he shared about his, like being hard on his younger version of himself. The connection to that. And Sahari said the greatest take was that, well, you and I have been in a relationship, like you said, for quite some while, and you've been working on your leadership, on your this and that, on your communication style, on how to recruit, on solving problems, like the whole business thing. And then you've left out the thing with your mother. And like you said, it's a big thing. It's an all-consuming kind of thing because she lives with you. So you have to stop avoiding it. You came to that conclusion. And you felt uncomfortably comfortable sharing it, which is awesome because that means you're already moving through the process. Change is uncomfortable. That's why, I mean, you're changing. It is changing. I get so excited. And the question about resentment. Which is more important? Do I need to be right? Or can I be greater in spirit, in wisdom than the other person and let go of that need to be right and just grow? Or have harmony in the relationship, whether it's private or professional. That takes a hell of a human to be able to process that. To let go of the need to be right. It takes someone great. It takes someone exceptional. Oh yeah, and the last thing, I mean, you had many takeaways here, darling. You said it's a very interesting session today, and yes, so you said the takeaway of starting to imagine the dream kind of relationship you would want to have with your mother. And then step into your role of that part and see what happens to her. Yes. So I wanted to share. I'm gonna hide behind this thing because it's. I'm gonna do like an ugly face now. So I want to share with you. No, I'm gonna say it like this. I am so happy and I'm a little bit proud because, you know, when you're, yeah, I feel proud of you because well, you're my clients, and so I want you to have results, and seeing you create the shifts. Sometimes it's tiny tweaks, sometimes it's like, what? I am so grateful that I get to witness this. And I see the change, I see the growth of who you're becoming, and I'm so damn proud of you. I'm not sure that means anything to you, but it sure as hell means something to me. I think all three of you are, for every time you feel like, yeah, I'm done, this is great, and then maybe with some feedback, and then you're like, what? Not so nice. But it's only with that outside perspective that you can only ever get to a point where I'm gonna grow even more. And I'm so happy that I get to see three phenomenal persons just become phenomenaler all the time. It is really fantastic. So I want to end with a challenge. The love challenge. So it's all about you, self-love, and how much love can you open up to receive. You can choose to focus on one person. You can choose to make it be in general. You can make it easy for yourself and say, I'm going to start with a child. I'm going to I'm going to make it freaking difficult, and I'm going to do it with someone I don't like. It's up to you. But the challenge is how much how much can you grow on the point of receiving love? All right, so that was that, and it is Valentine's Day today, so yeah, I love you.